Live, live, live. We are live, live, live. Live, live, live. Live, live, live. Yesterday we were doing, oh shit. Scheisse, scheisse. Yesterday we were doing some cleanup, additional cleanup, and found a couple bottles that my daughter had used. Okay, thank God. Paint is still good. Cap wasn't fully sealed or close to it. Hey, Joe, good morning. And given how much I love these paints, I do not want to see this thing go to pot. So just cleaning up a couple more paints, getting them put here so I can put them away. Begs the question, is everything closed? Anyway, Joe, hello, how are you? How was your Saturday? Bottle of water. Come on. Sorry, I'm sure that armpit shot was not great. I think all these paintbrushes are fine. Nope. That one's going to need to get washed. Water main break next door, so low water pressure. 15 calls from residents, and my back is locked up. Working on meds and massaging it to loosen. Oh no! Hey Tony, good morning. How are you, Joe? Hold it. If there's a water main break, what were you doing? Or just is the back issue separate from everything else? He's great. He might be. Hey, Ray, what's going on, man? I was answering the e-calls. Okay. Rayman, Tony. Better. Pencils did not go there. Pencils go here. All right. And this, I'll wash these. Actually, I think I'll do at least one of these right now. But I think we're done with that alcohol. Last call for this alcohol. People from New Mexico showed up and now keep trying to do stuff with us. I hate when they do that. Especially those New Mexicans. Are you having fun with them at least? Why, hello. Even worse, retirees. And they're just so close to that Mexican border. Guilt by association. Oh my God. What the fuck did I do here? I use this stuff all the time. Why the fuck is this thing sealed up so badly? All right. Let's dump. Yes, I said let's dump. Your ICE is hiring. Yeah. I think they didn't hire guys like me. It doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter how young you are, doesn't matter how intelligent you are. We just need bodies for the Gestapo. I mean, for ICE. I'm telling you. Anyway, I know we didn't get a chance to do the Thursday thing, but I got to tell you, this world is getting fucking crazier and crazier on a daily basis. Anyway, I'm just going to dump this shit into a napkin, into a paper towel, and then throw it away. You sorry about nailed it, but you don't watch that. Funny enough, Ray, I actually have been watching a little of South Park. The Christy Nome episode I thought was, it was hilarious. I'm gonna watch a little bit more. Watch a little bit. Give me a second, guys. Okay, there we go. Sludge. Kitty litter. All right, just dumped all that shit. Let's see if I can get this in here and get this thing cleaned out. Yeah. We're going to table the politics for Thursday. I know we didn't get a chance to do Thursday this last Thursday, but man, that's a lot of shit there. Let's get another piece of towel in here. I use gritty kitty litter to dry my bed. To dry my bad paints. To dry them? This is my my cleaning bottle. This is the stuff that has rubbing alcohol in it, which I'm going to use then to clean out some paints. But it just collected sludge at the bottom because of all the paint that's settled in here, and it started losing some of its strength, and also that it just continued to be discolored. Meant that it's probably not cleaning the brushes nearly as well. This is my first pass clean. I then go over and wash brushes at the sink. River ice won't make anyone great, but if some people sign up, there will be mitigators of corruption, hopefully. Light, I think you are being remarkably optimistic, and God knows we need people who are optimistic. I don't think that's what's going to end up happening, but from your mouth to God's ears. Is Mike still alive? Did he make it through the show? He is. I have not seen him here, given the number of people we have here right now. I have not seen him. I cannot say. People wanted to volunteer. Yeah. I'm telling you. Modern day Gestapo. Actually, it's not. What did the brown shirts become? Can't remember if they actually became the Gestapo or if they became the SS. I feel so healed from the first step of warm coffee. I haven't even had a sip of coffee yet, Joe. Rub it in, Joe. All right, there we go. Now, let's get, which I think will actually just about kill this bottle of ISO. I will say, I like that bottle. I'm wondering if I should just transfer everything over to that one. Yeah, I think we are going to. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to transfer into that bottle. The reason is that bottle having that drip top makes a lot more sense than pouring out of this thing. And while we're at it, taking a quick break, let's get some coffee in. I feel so healed. How do you live? Poorly. We're trying a different type of oat milk. Not sure I like it as much. Not sure yet. Jury's still out. There is no hope. The goal is to just be home. Hope, good intentions, give confidence. Yeah. I'm hoping you're right, Light. Let's just leave it at that. Right now, unfortunately, I'm also a bit of a realist. And when reality kind of smacks you in the face, you got to at some point just say, hey, this is just the way it is. It's like, one can hope that if I'm going 90 miles an hour and about to careen into a wall, that, you know what, something will change. But as you get closer and closer to something, it's likely what the inevitable thing is going to be. On the second day, Joe opened the tomb. I getting coffee. Jesus, you want it? That's right. Nice. Okay. Let's clean this thing out. My God. What happened to my little fucking towel? Ooh. Damn it. Let me see my little orange towel. I'm claimed to be reality, smack you in the face, look at who that person is and maybe slap them back. Well, that might not be a bad idea. I kind of like that. Okay. So I'll fill you guys in on the day yesterday, which actually was quite enjoyable. There we go. All right. We're going to toss that bottle of ISO. Now we got this one ready to go. And again, the reason is it's got this pour spout, which I prefer. Just makes it a lot easier for being able to, and this obviously is not looking for anything sanitary, so being able to change over between bottles doesn't really matter. Just having that ready to go is what matters. Okay. Mercy. So we had the my daughter's. Oops, I actually need that back now. My daughter had her sorry guys, I know I keep showing you my armpit and I apologize. My daughter had her younger daughter had her high school graduation party, which she invited a bunch of her friends, and we had some family come over. There we go. And then cap this before we spill, even though we're going to open it again in just a second. So yesterday was a lot of just getting the house cleaned up, because not only did we have the party, but we also had the after party. Hey, Mike, good morning. How was the show, Mike? We also had the after party. So anyway, we got the house all done. We got everything prepped for it and everything. There it goes. Thank God. I didn't want to waste. This is It's one of my Raphaels, which my daughter used, and unfortunately, she let paint dry on it. So, breaking it up now. Mr. Forest Ghost. Absolutely incredible. That doesn't surprise. I mean, generally speaking, when we go to concerts, right, the expectation is the show's going to be good, right? Well, having said that, I've talked about this in the past. I went to see Blondie, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, whatever it was, 7 years ago. And it was it was not good. Didn't enjoy it. So I'm glad to hear it. Hey, Joe. So we did a lot of house cleaning. And then, and also just preparation work. My wife did a bang up job of getting everything ready for the party. We went out and bought a fire pit last night, just a small metal one, in order to have them do their roasting of marshmallows. I had one, but it rusted out, so we just picked up another one. And there we go. And that's it. And then the party was great. The place is fabulous. There's a place downtown Worcester. What the hell is it called? I can't believe I'm spacing out. It's a bakery downtown Worcester, right outside of Kelly Square. I was literally in tears. It was so good. Wow. Mike, I'm so happy for you, man. That sounds awesome. Dude, that sounds awesome. Who went? It was you and your daughter? Anybody else? Leave those there for cleaning later. And that dish can go right here for now. Trying to figure out what the fuck to do with all that stuff. He made it. He did. So, what the hell's it called? I can't believe I'm spacing out on the name of the place. The food was fabulous. The hangout was great. See if I can get some of this stuff off. Nothing says a party than the roasting of gelatinous bone. Well, mallow. Yeah. When you put it that way, Joe. My bummer was my daughter was so sick. I ended up going with my best friend and his. Oh no! Oh, so your daughter did not go. My son came back from Michigan. Him and his girlfriend went up to visit her grandparents. So when he got home, we all went out, and that was my night. That sounds like a nice night. I love nights like that. That's awesome, man. Hey, Seb. Good evening. Mike, I'm really happy for you, man. That's great that at least you got a chance to go out. It sucks about your daughter. Is she okay? I'm sure she was bumming about that. Bunch of little kids there, though. Which is awesome, yeah. When we saw X last year, that was kind of the same thing. We were surprised at how many kids were there, or younger people. Just does the heart a world of good to know that is the case. Highlight. Ball there. I hope your daughter gets well fast. Yeah. As I get older, it's really awesome seeing kids at shows like that. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I will say, though, the Cyndi Lauper concert was fabulous because not only did you have women my age dressing up in all of their 80s glory, great, but the number of young people and young women who were there, yeah. I guess it comes down to, if you're relevant, people will see you. Relevant, not necessarily popular, relevant. And as you start to age and your relevancy remains, people will continue to come and see you. She's doing better. That's nice. Mike, can I ask what it was? Was it just like a cold, flu, stomach thing? Not that I need details, but in any case, as Tony said, I hope she does get better. Nostalgia sells fast. I think it's more than just nostalgia for some of it. I will say for Cyndi Lauper, at least, I think for X, I think there was some nostalgia. Yes. For a lot of bands, for Cyndi Lauper, it's a little different. I think she's such an icon for womanhood, modern womanhood, and the don't get in my way kind of thing. All right. So what the fuck kind of glue was that? Not sure, stomach ache with a mind. Oh, my son was earlier in the week. So I guess it just her turn. Yeah. Oh, man, that sucks, man. Well, I'm sure this is not going to be the last opportunity where you're going to be able to take your kids to see shows that you have people you like. Hey, Julius. Good, very early morning to you, my friend. How are you? They're just trying to make their nut. I'm not sure I understand. Okay. Put that away. All right. So my wife gave me this. She's like, hey, maybe you can use this. It's a little magnetically held plastic container. Unfortunately, the magnet became unglued. So now I'm looking to clean this thing up and get it re-glued. Great two-piece band open for them called Teen Mortgage. Teen Mortgage. Two-piece band. What were they playing, Mike? And also Cyndi Save Pop Block Dancing as well. It's like she done so much background dancing stuff, or am I confused with someone else? That's a good question. I don't know. With a glue you can borrow. Yeah, I know people who've got glue. Actually, I might hot glue this thing on here. Guitar and drums, nice. It's always good to see Brother Julius. I know. Sorry, armpit again. You're going to be seeing my armpit a lot this morning. I apologize. Hey, Richie. Good morning. Anyway, so last night was a really a good evening. And then we got home. The girls went outside, roasted marshmallows. And by girls, I mean it was mostly my daughter and her friends. She had about 7 friends over. And they were out until, I don't know, midnight or whatever, doing their thing. Light. I was wondering why my TV was smelling funny. Uh-oh. Nice. Hey, Jonah. Good morning. How are you? Welcome. All right, that's clean. That's clean. I think we're just going to hot glue this thing on. Hot glue. Let's get rid of the ISO. I might be in dire need of some hot glue soon. I'm pretty good this morning, playing some video games. Good for you. Yeah, last night, what time did we get home? Jesus. We got home 9:30-ish. And by the time we got everything kind of settled in, it was like a little too late to start a movie. I was planning, hoping this weekend would be the doubleheader with Wages of Fear and Sorcerer. But unfortunately, didn't happen. But I watched a couple of vignettes on the changes. Sorry. This is my passion. I love movies, right? I did watch a sort of a vignette on what changes were made to Wages of Fear when it was first introduced in the United States, where they cut out something like 50 minutes of the original. The movie's 2.5 hours long. I passed out at 8:30 last night. Ooh, a little exhaustion. But Richie, the day went well, I hope. Did you get some shit accomplished? Okay. Richie, since you're on, next time you talk to your friends over at Bandai, tell them, what the fuck? You just opened up a bunch of P Bandai releases, right? Bunch of them. Every one that I'm interested in is shipping on a different month. I'm not going to spend $10 in shipping for a $25, $30 kit. It's like, guys, what? I mean, honestly, really? And I think their ability to kind of have you warehouse stuff is not happening either. Fucking Bandai. Sounds like a burnt TV. It does, doesn't it? Good. A few years back, we had a customer call us. This was one of my favorite installations of all time. A customer called us and said, "Hey, I think your TV caused it," and he's a nice guy, so he wasn't being like an asshole or accusatory or anything like that. But he says, "I think your TV caused a fire." I'm like, I mean, instantaneously, what the fuck, right? That all Japan and not the U.S. side. Yeah, I still blame P Bandai U.S. What the fuck, Richie? Anyway, so we were all like, holy shit. So the thought was that the power supply, it was an external power supply, blew up, sparked, caused a fire, and basically started burning down his house. They were out. But thankfully, the fire department broke in quickly enough and extinguished the fire before it escaped outside of the fireplace in the mantle area. But it was then later determined that his wife had left candles underneath the mantle. So it wasn't us. But I will say, we were all like, oh shit, nervous as hell. They love my attitude. Richie, you suck up. Let's see if this works. Yeah, fuck. Some of the stuff was already dried or hardened. That ozone smell from old sea. Oh yeah, or I'll tell you. Please do. I know. And look, I'm not expecting any. Yeah, damn it. So Jonah, right now I'm just looking on getting something glued on to a stand, but I'm working on a tank this morning. If I can get to the tank, this may not work, but we'll see. I love hot glue, except that it takes forever and a fucking day. They love my attitude. Richie's Tude. I'm going to wait for this thing to get really hot. And in the meantime, let's toss down some more coffee. Yeah, John, I'll show you real quickly. So I'm working on that tank right there. 172nd scale, T3485. The model, meh. I know nothing about tanks. Yeah, frankly, I got to tell you, I don't either. I'm not a big, I just like tank designs. I just think they look cool. That's the only reason why I like building them. But if somebody said, so what can you tell me about the armor differences between this one and that one? Like I fucking know, like I fucking care. So once you release the magic smoke from our product, it's no longer covered. Exactly. And boy, there was smoke. Now, the nice thing about all of that was that the repairs that he did to that afterward, was fabulous. They bought a McMansion and they have absolutely turned it into something extraordinary. They've done a really good job with that home. Sometimes it does take a little fire to kind of help you along. So, being good news for the weekend, we officially have our own TCG team inside. Oh, nice! And who's leading that team? Has a big cup of coffee. It's a Sunday, and it's going to be a long day, Julius. They're cool as hell, but yeah, that's a big rabbit hole there. Yeah, and I'm not going to lie. I've definitely fallen into that rabbit hole pretty hard. I like armor. I'm not a military guy. I haven't been into military models or anything like that since I was a kid. But I like cool designs. And as long as the design interests me, that's fine. And I also like models that build well. And this is why I'm really buying. I just pre-ordered the Jakey and Trons. It's just you two? How about you? Are you involved as well, Richie? Have you done any jets? Well, I was working on a jet. It was a Special Hobby Aerocomet, which you might have heard about. And it was the most atrocious model I've ever worked in. I've never stopped a model in my life. That was the first. I stopped that one. I couldn't work on it anymore. It was awful. Okay, we're going to do this in a couple of different ways. We're going to come on. There we go. Now I'm just kind of going to town on this thing like that. This time I'm not even bothering being like, oh, I'll lay down lines. Fuck lines at this point. Ugh. Jakey and Trons, have you done any jets? Is the Harpy a jet? I guess in essence it kind of is. So have I done one? Not fully. Have I started one? Yeah. I actually have done a jet. I did the ME-262 in cockpit finish. The Leiji Matsumoto manga. I just collect, but of course I'm involved. I made the team. Nice. This is what makes it a special. Oh my God, that model is just god awful. In fact, I've been wanting to pick up a 1/72nd scale. I think is it the Viggen? Yeah, it's the Viggen, the Swedish plane. That Special Hobby release. Thankfully, they're not the ones who originally made it. They partnered up with a company called Tarangas. I will pick up that model, but if Special Hobby made it, no, I would not be. No. No. Okay. So just real quickly, I'm just gluing this magnet back onto the back of this thing so I can pop that on here and maybe put some shit in there like pencils and stuff. Air Napa has know how. Maybe you can pick up a can. Maybe. Okay. So, ultimately, a plastic model is a plastic model. I just enjoy whatever subject just kind of fascinates me. I've as much as I continue to love, sci-fi anime, particularly any anime property generally is my go-to. It's just like what I prefer. But I'm finding that just build a good model and just have a good time. I don't care what the subject is anymore, as long as it's a cool looking subject. And Modern Armor looks awesome. Okay, let's see if this thing sticks. It does. Great. Somebody's up. Somebody's awake. Let's renegotiate here, shall we? I'm moving some stuff around here so I can make my desk a little bit more usable. There we go. There we go. All right, let's see what I missed here. I saw your shirt. Where did you get that? This is from a friend, local guy by the name of Drew DeCourcy. Forgetting what his Instagram handle is now. It's been a while since I've been on Instagram, and I'm forgetting everybody's Instagram handles. But he had a show on, and I think he still does something on Twitch. He's a big Twitch guy. Does a lot of gaming there, but he also builds models, and he is a member of our chapter, Patriot. Hopefully, we'll see him at PatCon because Drew's such a nice guy. Anyway, this is what he did years ago as part of his channel. Basically, goofs and coffee. By the way, that MG Gundam 2.0 from the imagination exclusive, it's a piece of shit. The plastic, terrible waste of money. Oh, so Richie, did you tell Bandai that? You can tell them that this model is a piece of shit, and you can say, and George thinks that your shipping policies blow chow. Oh God. I'm sounding like a grumpy old man. I know it, guys. And I'm here. Just let me have it. I still got to send George merch. Yes, you do. Richie, but you're coming up to PatCon, so you can hand it to me personally when you're here, right? That's what we call in sales. We call that the assumptive close. That's such a cool shirt. Also, I did get my first PG. Went with the Sharzaku. Nice. Jonah, have you started working on it yet or not? Yeah, this shirt is pretty cool. In fact, it's also got a really cool design on the back. And for any, mercy. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't realize I bumped it. There it goes. Cool design on the back, too. That's true. Let's see. I want to see if they can give us a discount code. I can talk. Yeah, that's fine. Richie, I'm not asking for anything special. I just think, personally speaking, I think their policies are just they got to come up with something better. The don't get me wrong, a $10 flat rate isn't bad, but if you're buying one model, it's just it just doesn't make it worth it. I'd love to see more places kind of do like what HLJ does, which is warehouse it for a while. You got a limited amount of time, but warehouse stuff for a little while. I know logistically it becomes difficult for them, but you know what? If you do that, makes sense. I know they listen to me though. That's good. I'm glad that somebody can bend their ear. All right, let's get back to. We're now going to glue on some photo etch. In theory, because I love photo etch. Mike, I'm going to use some CA glue. Broken shard of photo etch glass. Oh, I didn't even realize that. Oh, that's kind of groovy. Is that what I think it is? Fucking A, man. Look at that. So Flyhawk, okay, give credit where credit's due. That's the photo etch sheet that comes with it, right? So what the hell is this big hole here? That is your wheel mask. So you can paint your wheels. Yeah, it's a wheel mask. So they actually provide one. That's good. And the good thing about that is now it may not be something you can keep you can use on everything, but you can repurpose that. I'm working on my high news still. The big ass cannon is supposed to show up Thursday from P Bandai. Nice. That's the high new wacky weapon set, right? Yeah. Might actually have to assemble that. Six. Oops. Sorry, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm so glad I numbered these. 5, 6, 7. Just moving stuff out of the way here. Oh great. Oh great. What did I say? Yes, sir. It looks massive compared to the Gundam. Oh yeah. The high new wacky armor set is my favorite new full custom on that as well. Nice. Yeah, they included P Bandai did the gun for the high new, which is it is insane. There we go. Okay. Little super glue. And let's get the photo etch piece off of here. Okay, so we are doing that one. And that one is PE3. Okay. Yep. So it is Sunday. Anybody got anything cool going on? Today does plan on this side to be low key, which I'm really happy about. Since we did so much housework yesterday and the day before, I think today is going to be one really low-key day. I'm not doing any work around the house. Likely just going to hang out with my wife, my kids. That's it. CA, I know, CA. I know you. It's the bane of your existence. Mike loves CA. And try and get a speeding ticket later, but other than that, it's an easy day. Jonah, dare I ask? Be right back. I'm being called for dinner. All right, dinner. Ooh, sounds good. Sounds good. Oh yeah, that's right. Sounds good, Seb. I still want to know why they couldn't have molded this detail into the plastic. I don't understand. Would have made a lot more sense. Working on a gravity. Oh, nice. Still breaking in the car. Jonah, what's the car again? I think I remember you mentioning it before. Nice. So, Mike, you doing a little Legoing? Right, the WRX, right. The small car with a way massive engine on it. Remember years ago, somebody saying about that car, it's like, how did they even come up with the idea for this car? Because it really is. It's like, it is such yeah, it's just a way overpowered car. No, if that's your thing, that's awesome. There we go. Hey, Keel. Good morning. A bit chilly here in DE. Good old 58 degrees. Yeah, nice, huh? Enjoy it while you can. The street I can take it. Take corners is dumb. Yeah, just be careful. One, be careful not to get nailed by the cops. And two, nothing crazy happens. You know, it's interesting. It's the same thing I tell my daughters. It's like, I'm not worried about your driving. I'm worried about the people around you. Keel. Busy now painting the Warhammer mini I got. Sweet. Nice hiking weather. Yeah. I think today is going to be a rail trail day. Well, shit on a brick. Hey, Q. That seems pretty hollow. Why are you not coming out? I mean, I guess, you know what? Fuck it. Actually, I think this will actually, that was a sorry. That did not work well. And that worked not well for good reasons. Using black CA might be better in this application anyway, because black CA gives me the opportunity. It dries slower. Oh yeah, the tourists keep it interesting on the road. That's for sure. Well, I wouldn't say the tourists. Even a bunch of the locals. Sup, Mike? Sup, Joe? Yeah. That's a sweet whip. Whip. Oh, yeah, there we go. I think I will be ordering. I got to tell you, I really, I don't know. I like Starbond. I'm just going to say it. I like their products. You know, it was Viroth on Instagram who introduced me to their stuff. He goes, why don't you give their stuff a try? It's like, okay. Came up in a feed once. He's like, yeah, that's the stuff that I use. And if you've ever followed Viroth's work, it's exemplary. And he's right. It's really good CA. The variety of products that they offer is great. Yeah, CA is CA, but maybe not. Okay. Come on. Thank you. cleanup to do here afterward, but that's fine. I'm actually going to just let it, I'm going to do this piecemeal. Going to start there. Leave it like that. And we're just going to glue the other side. The PE rolled up a little bit. Just fine. Morning, Mike. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm currently detailing painting on a custom 164 die cast. I plan to display a pack-on. Sweet. Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. We are 6 weeks out, I think, from today. 6 weeks out from the show. 7 weeks, something like that. I noticed Richie didn't respond to when I said, hey, you're coming up to pack-on, right? Silence, Richie. All right, let's do the other one. Is Nick here? I can't tell if I saw him or not. Nick usually comes in, says morning, and then goes silent after that. I think especially on the weekends, it's due to recovery. I could be wrong. So I'd saying, that's my point. That's why I'm doing it. It's exactly my point, Ray. Okay. There we go. All right. Let's get another PE part off of here. Yeah, so I think later today, it's going to be a bit of a trail walk. Who knows? Maybe if I can get myself motivated, I'll do a little bit of something on the paint booth, maybe do some priming. God knows I got enough stuff to prime. What else? I could possibly even work on, maybe this coming week, I'm going to work on Misa Hayase. I'd really like to get her done for the September meeting and bring her to PACCON. Motivations for some reason on that just kind of came to a bit of a grinding halt, which is kind of a bummer because I actually enjoyed working on it. Moving the glue out of the way. Let's take a look to see how this is looking. Do a little bit of cleanup. Again, I don't understand the purpose of why you have to glue a photo etch part on here when you could have just simply molded the detail right on. So some days I just don't understand. Again, it's process, right? It's like that entire, let me show you real quickly. So this is one of the fenders. And you're supposed to glue a photo etch part, the yellow, in front of the green part, right? Okay, fine. It's a photo. But why didn't you just mold the details into it? It just makes a lot more sense, but maybe not. I don't know. Maybe the details are too fine, but then I look at the rest of this model, it's like, it's a lot of really tiny detailing on here. So you're adding a level of complexity that may not have been necessary. Getting rid of a injection pin mark that's in here because it is nasty. Nasty. So I mentioned HLJ earlier, which I haven't bought from them in a while, but I have bought from them in the past. You know, HLJ and Hobby, what was it, Plaza Japan, and all these other companies, right? There's a lot of good retailers that cater to an international market. And HLJ put out an interesting email earlier in the week about, hey, by the way, because I guess all this, I can't imagine being a business owner. We were talking about this with our Sony, with the director of CI market and Sony earlier in the week. I can't imagine that the amount of energy that's being put into a business and having to follow what's going on with the tariffs. Now, again, guys, I'm not making this into a political conversation, but I'm just thinking HLJ put out an email commenting on how their recommendation right now is, given that it used to be that up to $800 you can order something from Japan and not have to pay a tariff into the US. Now that's gone, and the tariffs can be $80 or more. Chunky amount of money, right? That's just the tariff part of it. Hey, Seb, welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, excuse me. I apologize. So if you think about all of that tariffing and everything that's going on and what that's causing in the marketplace, and the response was just until this stuff gets figured out, if you want, purchase it, warehouse it, don't worry. And I got to tell you, it's a smart business plan on their part, but it also makes things very difficult for anybody to do any ordering, right? It's just crazy. I don't understand. No, sir, I don't get it. Just the chaos that it's causing companies. And the impediment to business is just off the chain bullshit. Right. Let's peel the part off. PE goes back in the box. Back in the box. Back in the box like Jack in the Box. Oops. So let's see how this looks. Yeah. All right. The CA is still good. Still good. We're going in. CA in hand. Sanding off that fingerprint I just left there. Later. This one's going on harder than the last one. Wait for some of that CA to ticky-tack a little bit, but there we go. Okay. Everybody's been quiet again. I think I put everybody to sleep. Good night, everybody. All right, let's take a look at this first one. Great. I think it's tacked enough. We can now get some CA underneath this side. There we go. I'm just here mixing paint. Mix. Good for you, Tony. Nah, coffee refill. Okay. I guess we'll hold that piece in place until it tacks and pray my finger doesn't stick to it. There we go. Anyway, waiting for Daisy to crash the basement. Yeah, it ain't happening. Doors closed. She ain't coming down. Though I will say that was kind of fun doing that that little coffee making endeavor last week. That was fun. Not gonna lie. I've been thinking about things to kind of change up here, just not continue to do the same thing over again, which is basically George just assembling models and bitching about them. So maybe doing something like, I don't know, doing like a revisit of the ancient backlog, maybe pulling out like a group of models and talking about the history behind them. We've done something like that in the past. Could do that again. It's always fun going into the historical collection just to see what's there. Okay. We're almost done. Again, still don't get the purpose, but what do I know? All right, so once this is actually all done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand a little bit to get rid of the nubs. I did not remove the nubs from the edge of the photo etch just because it's so fine. I didn't want to bend it. Okay, that's looking good. There we go. So this is just like a front fender, and there's the photo edge glued on. Let's see if you can see. I'm going to try to tip it. You can almost see there's a little bit of a fingerprinting going on, but I'm going to wait for that to dry. I'm going to remove the fingerprints and then file down the nubs that are on there. You can just catch those on the edging. Okay, got that done. See how this one's looking. This one almost did its work for me. This one's still moving. So we're going to leave like that for a little bit longer, and then we'll get it on. Get it on. All right. So with that, let's see. See how this looks going on. So now that has to go on here. This goes right here. Let's see how it looks. I don't understand that gap, but I guess that's fine. So it's going to get glued on just like that, I guess. Just so little contact there. It's fucking crazy. Nope, I guess that didn't last. That thing that I glued together, yeah, it didn't last. Okay. Anyway. All right, we're going to I think we're going to CA this thing into place. Yes, Mike, I'm CAing it into place as opposed to thin cementing it. It's because there's so much metal to plastic contact here. All right, let's see what happens. No, I know. No. Yes. Oh, of course, that came undone. Yay! No. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. We have to do some reaffirmation here later. By which I mean, yeah, this thing is fucking the tolerances of this thing are just crap. Just gonna say it again. Just really disappointing. You know what? Fuck it. Let's clean that off. And the photo etch lifted, so anyway. Sure you are. Yay, party! Let's see where I am. No, funny. Yeah, wait. So one day she escapes the house, and the next day during live her taping. Yeah, exactly. She's just sitting there, like literally, she'll be at that window back there. Yeah. Yay, party. Sure you are. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna just say it again. This model is not one I would recommend if somebody's looking to build 1/72nd scale armor. All right, we're gonna just let this thing sit. A little bit more underneath here. Just understanding that there are gonna be challenges with it. Hello, what are you doing? RQR7Z. I am gluing together parts on a model that are very close to flying, because just not liking this. Just not liking this one bit. 1 second, guys. I apologize. Yeah, fuck you. Okay. Very close to flying. One would think that a hobby should be the thing that brings you down, grounds you, mellows you out. Me, every now and then, my violence level with models that I think suck, it just makes me want to make these things. Okay, can tanks fly? No, of course they can't. Well, watch this one. Watch this. I also love models. Nice. And what kind of models do you build, RQ? I did get that right. Yes, RQ. Good, good, good. Love models too. I love models that are cooperative, or at least a little bit more cooperative than this one. Come on. There we go. That was fun. Sorry, guys. Give me a second here. Damn it. Okay. Try this another way. Sorry, guys. That feels like it's sitting flat. Okay. All right. There were prototype years before in the Soviet Union. They were trying to make a tank fly. Were they? Okay, I'm off. Enjoy the day, guys. Mike, you as well, brother. I don't build any, don't have money for them anywhere. Is there anyone here to chat? People chat. We talk about models. We talk about whatever the hell it is that we were working on the bench. What time is it? Yeah, I've got about 15 minutes before I'm going to be bailing as well. Go upstairs, hang out with my wife. Okay. I guess what we'll do is now we're just going to get a little bit of sanding done here. I don't know if there's supposed to be a delineation between these parts, but we'll see. I think there's not going to be. I'm not going to leave one there. We usually do chat a little bit, RQ. Question is whether or not that's supposed to be, because this part came in, whether there's supposed to be a seam line there or not. That is the great unknown. My assumption is yes. Just like my assumption is this is probably either flame cut or there should be a weld there somewhere. I'll likely fill it in with something. What? I'm just over here touching up design. Touching up design. Design of what, Richie? Where's my CA brush? Just removing all that CA. The logo for the TCG. Oh, nice. Yeah, look at that. What you're doing is graphic design thing. I love it. In fact, you know what we're going to do now? We're going to fill those things in. It's been a while since we pulled this guy out. Love my Surfacer. We're going to fill in these injection pin marks that are here. I'll show you what they look like in just a second, but they are pretty freaking hideous. Can you show them all you're building? Yes, I will. I'll show you exactly what we're working on right now. Yeah, I know a lot of it, unfortunately, just the way this camera thing is set up, it doesn't have a lot of stuff that's visible. Mr. Surface Her. All right, so I'm working on the Flyhawk 172nd scale T-3485, the Chinese People's Volunteer Army version. I've got the wheels all done, and I'm working on the hull. In terms of the kit itself, this would not be a kit I would recommend to many people. I think it's an interesting kit. I think it's got a lot of cool stuff going on. Detail is off the chain good. Putting the assembly on it, not so good. One of my favorites. I'm Chinese. Oh, nice. The T-3485. Yeah. It's a beautiful design, but this is, I'm actually surprised because Flyhawk has such a pedigree for being a really, really good company for detail, but the assembly process is just, it's not been enjoyable. Too many things that I just think are just problematic. So we're going to start filling in some gaps. Filling in some gaps here. Filling in a lot of these. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you. You can actually see all the injection pin marks there. I mean, it's bad. And it's in a place where, I mean, it's obvious you have to fix these. What brings you to join the YouTube community? What brings me? I was on Instagram for 5 years. I think Instagram and what they've become has been crap, so I decided to move over to YouTube. Yeah. So it's been a good journey over, shall we say. Okay, one side's done. I think we are going to do a little bit of filling in here too. Instagram sucks. It does. It ain't the same Instagram as when I started. You know what? I think it was back in 2018. I'm also going to just fill in some gaps in here too. Just get this this massive seam line here too. I don't think anybody's going to see that seam line, but I'd rather smooth it out a little bit. God, I know it's crazy. I do love the smell of Surfacer. It does smell like victory. That's nice. You can call me RQ if you want. It's easier. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, RQ. My name is George. Feel free to call me George. I don't like being called sir. I don't like being called Mr. Just George. I've been called other things too. I was going to say something, but yeah, maybe we don't go down that route. But yeah, no, let's do that. Okay, I'm actually doing, since I'm actually, I've got some time here. I'm doing some gap filling as well. I figure we've already got this thing kind of going here. Let's get the rest of the gap filling done. No one's going to see that, but I'm going to touch it up anyway. I've been called many things. George, right? Yes, correct. Okay. So RQ, you said you are Chinese. Are you in China or otherwise? George, right? Yep. No, I live in Europe. Oh, nice. What part of Europe, may I ask? By the way, I will ask questions, and if anybody doesn't feel comfortable answering them, don't answer. But if you do feel comfortable, great. If not, no worries. I'm not going to do any underside cleanup. I can see where I did a little bit of damage with some thin cement. I don't care, because my feeling is once this tank goes on a base, you are not lifting it. So I don't paint the undersides. I know there are a lot of guys there. I shouldn't say there are a lot. There are people who do. Cold Demons PL is always big into doing the finish work underneath the model. That ain't me. If it ain't exposed, I don't think it's necessary. You're in Sweden. Oh, nice. The Nordics. Nice. Sweden. Swedes are some of the finest filmmakers on the planet. The pedigree is fabulous. I know everything comes back to models and film for me. What can I say? Yeah, going heavy here in this corner here. That's good. Okay, a little bit of sinking there. I mean, I could have sanded these things down a little bit and then hit them up with this stuff. But I didn't want to do that. Ugh, man. All right, we are gonna. I honestly don't know how to do that. Do I hit that with Surfacer and then scribe in a line or not? I can't even tell what the fuck is going on with that. I can't tell if I destroyed a detail there. It looks like I did, but I can't tell. Man. All right, Space Owners, have a great day. Joe, you too, brother. Enjoy the rest of your day. The same thing as Stars, we Stardust, baby. Hey, Peter. Good morning. What did I miss? Everything. It was nice to be in the stream, but I had to move on. I will see you next time you're live, George. Sounds good, RQ, excuse me. Enjoy the rest of your day. What's going on, Peter? Yeah, this model is pretty crap. Not going to lie. It is pretty crap. Given that this thing is a bolted on design, there is no welding. I can't put a bead weld in. So we are going to be doing gap filling here. But I will say once again, it is shocking how, I mean, I'm sure looking at this, I could have done a much, much better job of assembly, but it is a very, very poor model in that regard. Yeah, this is not going to be one of those. This is not going to go. Not that I would put something on a competition table per se, but this one would not be competition worthy for sure. That'll be cleanup and probably rescribing. I'm gonna leave it like that. Yeah, I'm gonna say it again. This model is a turd. Later, everyone. Have a great day. Keel, you too, brother. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Okay. There we go. So a little bit of cleanup. All right. So we got the surfacer down. Yeah. Not a great model. Not a great model. In fact, between this and the Vespid model that I started, I may actually at some point just break out a Meng tank just to reinforce the point that it's not just it's not the scale. It literally is how different some of these manufacturers are, and I want to continue to just find out: am I missing something here? Am I bitching about something? You know, if Meng does the same thing where their models are like, if I build one or two that are just like shit, and I just had good luck with the first two, that's one thing. But I will say these are really disappointing models. Sorry, I'm barely awake, Peter. No, nothing you need to say there. I get it. These are very disappointing models. I was reading last night. I finally got the. I like to read. It takes me a while to catch up on all the IPMS journals, but I generally like to read the letter from the editor and the letter from the president in every issue before it goes into the pile to be read. And I think about 2 years deep on this at this point. So the editor was commenting. Lamasaro, I think is his name, and I apologize if I butchered his name. He was commenting on how older models, we like the challenge of an older model. He's kind of like in my camp. He loves building older models, for a lot of reasons. But he also said something like the expectation, like it's not like building like a new model. All new models are like built beautifully. And I kept coming back to this, the Vespid, the Special Hobby fiasco, all of that stuff. And it's like, no, I think it really comes down to who the manufacturer is. It really does. Even the VK7201, I'm going back into the archives. It had problems, but not like this. Like this to me is like not good. The stuff with the Vespid, the Leopard 2A7, I think. No, it's the KF51. The assembly on that thing, it's just like when you got wiring that's supposed to go up to a light and it's crossing two parts and you molded in the wiring. Great. You molded in the detail, but now it's doing this. It's like, for real? So that'll get ripped off and just a new line put in. Now, I can fix these things. That's the thing that I guess I want people to understand. It's like, this is absolutely a repairable thing. Any plastic can be repaired. But the question is, how much repair do we want to put into something like that? Especially when you then work on something like a Bandai model or a Tamiya, which their fit and finish generally is like off the chain impressive, right? And then you work on something like this and it's like, hey, but we gave you all these great details and parts. That's fine. But your fitment is crap. Just call it the way it is. It's just crap. Anyway. So an interesting article. I'm going to probably reread it and I may end up responding to him. I haven't decided yet. Not in a negative way, just to kind of, I agree with him, first of all. I love working on older models. Love it, love it, love it. But if you're going to, I would never generalize by saying that modern models are much better. No, I would not make that generalization. So, all right, friends, with that being said, it is time for me to bail as well. I'm gonna head upstairs, hang out with my wife for a little while. And I'm looking forward to today being a nice low-key day. So with that, stay safe and stay sane, everybody. Thanks for being on this morning. I really do appreciate it. Always fun conversations. I can't believe it's like this has been an hour and a half, I think. Have a great day. You too, Peter. It's been an hour and a half and it flew like that. It really helps when you've got good people and you're doing a hobby, and then we need more of this stuff. Anyway, go out there and do good. Brighten the world as much as you possibly can. Tony, you too, brother. Thanks for being on this morning. We'll catch you tomorrow. But go out there and do good. Brighten the world as much as you can. Make it a better world. It is getting crazier and nuttier. Have a nice Sunday, everyone. Take care. You too, Seb. Thanks for being in, for popping in. But make it good for somebody. Brighten somebody's day. Do good. And with that, I'll be back on tomorrow, same time, same channel. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch you on the flip. Peace.